From a journey of redemption to absolute triumph, the golfing universe witnessed something extraordinary. Following weeks filled with doubt, intense scrutiny, and voices suggesting his prime had passed, the Irish champion unleashed an unforgettable display at one of golf's most prestigious events that reaffirmed his position among the sport's elite asterisk beneath Florida's radiant skies. He didn't merely compete. He commanded every aspect of the tournament. Each drive, every approach shot, and all critical decisions showcased the brilliance everyone remembered. Bold, graceful, and driven by clear intent, spectators roared with excitement. Lenses captured every moment. And suddenly, the sport rediscovered its superstar. Yet, as applause filled the famous venue, observers pondered not only the execution, but the deeper significance behind this achievement. This represented far more than adding another accolade to an already impressive collection. It served as a powerful response to skeptics, naysayers, and even the governing body itself. When the Northern Ireland native completed his final hole, sharing an emotional embrace with his wife Erica and young daughter Poppy through tears of joy. The moment transcended simple celebration. It embodied complete validation, asterisk. In preceding months, he'd endured criticism and disputes that could have destroyed his entire season. Instead, through one defining performance, he answered every question about his determination, concentration, and career trajectory. This wasn't merely bouncing back. It was asserting total authority. Asterisk officials and competing professionals stood amazed by what unfolded before them. Despite all the commotion surrounding his gear choices, playing form, and even personal tensions beyond the course, the determined athlete transformed every challenge into motivation. His closing round avoided caution entirely. Instead, delivering a clinic and self-dash assurance asterisk, every scoring opportunity felt intentional. Each celebratory gesture carried meaning. His objective extended beyond claiming victory. He was establishing something undeniable. That message resonated more powerfully than anticipated. This champion's story continues with many chapters yet unwritten. Ash's name illuminated the leaderboard in top position. The entire golfing community sensed a fundamental transformation. They just observed more than tournament success. They witnessed a powerful resurgence, a complete reversal of fortune. However, understanding what obstacles he conquered to reach this pinnacle reveals where the authentic narrative truly begins. Asterisk. When critics dismissed his potential, the Irish star stepped away from public attention and committed himself to improvement. During the weeks after equipment-related controversies, he removed himself from media focus entirely without public declarations, press engagements, or digital platform activity. Only pre-dawn practice sessions and evening work under artificial lighting remained. Here constructed his technique methodically, stroke by stroke. Refusing to let scandal define his identity, asterisk sources within his inner circle described an almost scientific obsession, analyzing trajectory patterns, rotation metrics, and projection angles with engineering precision. The motivation shifted from challenging organizational decisions to reaffirming personal excellence. External skepticism grew louder. Yet he prepared to silence it through the only language he mastered, championship performance asterisk. Upon arriving at the prestigious championship venue, something fundamental had transformed. It showed in his demeanor, his equipment handling, how his focus locked onto each target with unwavering intensity. The same supreme confidence that previously made him dominant returned, refined, amplified, and remarkably composed. His long game execution appeared effortless, while short game precision reached surgical levels. Asterisk commentators who previously questioned his abilities began revising their assessments. One flawless execution at the tournament's legendary island hole captured everything perfectly. Pure strike, fearless commitment, absolute precision. While spectators erupted, he maintained composure with a simple acknowledgement, understanding this moment belonged to him. The resurgence wasn't gradually developing. It was erupting spectacularly into existence. Asterisk then arrived the scene nobody will forget. After completing the winning stroke, he released his club, exhaled deeply, and moved directly toward his wife Erica and their daughter Poppy's waiting embrace. Broadcast cameras, documented tears, smiles, and months of accumulated pressure finally releasing. Beyond mere relief existed true redemption. He'd navigated through doubt, controversy, and immense expectations, emerging more formidable than before. That family embrace communicated what language couldn't express. Adequately, the champion had returned, and the governing body recognized it completely. Asterisk, asterisk, as supporters celebrated and media rushed to contextualize the historical significance of these developments. One reality became undeniable. This transcended typical victory narratives. It represented a legacy-defining moment, a declaration to every critic that here remains contemporary golf's essential heartbeat. Yet, as celebrations commenced, the far-reaching consequences of this triumph were only beginning to impact the sport's foundation profoundly. The impact from this monumental achievement expanded rapidly, affecting not just enthusiasts, but penetrating deep within the organization's leadership structure. Within days following his victory, the same institution that previously scrutinized his equipment and mental fortitude suddenly faced uncomfortable public examination. According to major news sources, the governing body's chief executive issued formal public apologies to the champion and his family regarding deplorable spectator conduct he endured during an international team competition earlier that season. Such open institutional acknowledgement of responsibility remained extraordinarily rare. Their statement addressed more than isolated incidents confronted how they'd miscalculated the emotional burden he carried throughout the entire year. The situation demanded accountability from multiple parties, and global audiences paid close attention. Throughout years of competition, he'd simultaneously represented both the public image and moral compass of modern professional golfing. Its heritage, questioning its shortcomings and voicing opinions when others remained silent. Only after his spectacular return did establishment figures truly appreciate his importance to the sport. Analysts who formerly described him as unpredictable now characterized him as embodying perseverance. Even internal critics within the governing body began acknowledging his composure and influence. Media outlets reported officials admitting they hadn't recognized the severity of misconduct until after events concluded statements resembling crisis management more than genuine accountability. Their approach shifted from authoritative to apologetic. For the first time in years, the institution appeared diminished compared to its marquee athlete, asterisk behind private doors. His victory initiated difficult discussions about audience behavior, athlete welfare, and the organization's reputation among premier competitors. The league that traditionally demanded respect from participants now found itself obligated to reciprocate. Online communities demanded stronger enforcement standards and greater accountability from event administrators. Even fellow competitors privately commended him for maintaining dignity and allowing performance to communicate louder than confrontation. He hadn't simply secured championship glory, fundamentally altered the authority structure within professional golf by week's end. One truth stood irrefutable. The sport's most prominent figure had just demonstrated who genuinely carries its passion and generates its attention. However, his narrative remained incomplete because subsequent developments would ultimately shape his enduring legacy. This championship success didn't merely conclude. A difficult chapter initiated an entirely new phase. With the prestigious trophy reclaimed and the golfing universe once again captivated, focus immediately shifted toward future possibilities. For this champion, objectives extend beyond accumulating additional titles. They encompass redefining his historical impact. Every comeback story and competitive sports include subsequent acts, and this represents his. The upcoming calendar overflows with opportunities from Augusta to St. Andrews, where each opening drive will carry exceptional significance. Enthusiasts aren't simply anticipating results. They're expecting legendary performances because after everything endured, anything short of extraordinary simply won't satisfy him or the watching world. The victory also transformed how emerging talent perceives him. For Therasing generation, advancing through competitive ranks, he's evolved beyond mere competitor status into becoming the benchmark standard. Players like Victor Hovland and Ludvig Berg frequently mention him as influential inspiration, but now that influence feels concrete and achievable, his composure during crucial moments, willingness to advocate for principles, and capacity to recover from setbacks have established the template for contemporary, professional golfers for the governing organization. His journey provides essential revitalization during times when loyalty, integrity, and genuineness seem increasingly scarce. He's delivered precisely what the institution required: a champion representing values beyond statistics and commercial partnerships. The organization needed a figure worthy of renewed belief, discovering it in this remarkable athlete, yet even champions maintain lighthearted perspectives. In a recent media conversation, he laughed, recalling his worst financial decision: a luxury automobile purchased with early career earnings that malfunctioned.